Hey y'all, this is Bennett. Welcome to another pickups video, this time on yard sale day. That's right, it is back to yard sale season where I'm from here in Georgia, and today was the first day it really kicked off in earnest. I've been out the last couple of weekends, but there was slim pickings, but this time around there was a huge list of yard sales on the apps. I couldn't even, get to them all, but I identified where I wanted to go and checked out a bunch, and I had a great day, and I'm going to show you what I got. Okay, let's see. First up, this I got at this stack here I got at a yard sale, community sale in actually the neighborhood where I used to live before I moved into the house I'm in now. And we got Red Dead Redemption 2, Mafia 3, Call of Duty World War II, and a couple of Madden games for the Xbox One collection. And you may be able to see a little bit of what is coming, but let's just get through this part first. This was at a church yard sale where they had a bunch of PSP things. Some of the things I wanted didn't actually have games or UMDs in the box, so I had to leave them behind, but that's fine. So what I did get was Namco Museum Battle Collection, which I actually turned out to already have, so sell that one back up the river. Hot Shots Golf 2, Open T2. Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, Gunpei, and for the PS2, Twisted Metal Black, the greatest hits version. I already have the black box version, so I'll probably sell this on as well, and help pay for what else I spent today. Okay, so let's get to it. The real deal. Here's what happened. I mentioned I was going to a community neighborhood yard sale in the neighborhood that I used to live in, actually on the street that my house used to be on. Is where I had my best luck with the one stack of Xbox One games, and let me just tell you the story. So I went to a house halfway down the block. And I did the usual. I looked around, didn't see any games, but I did see a kid, so that's always a good sign. And knowing what I know from Chase After the Right Price, and from Ring Bean, and from Retro Rick, and all the people on YouTube always ask if they have video games. And so I asked if they had video games. The lady that was there said, I have my old Nintendo, my Sega Genesis, and those are my favorite things in the world. I'd never sell those things. And, of course I am starting to run the spiel of, are there any games you're not playing, or anything like that. One of these days my kid's going to grow up and want to play those things. She probably won't want to play them, but I know, I totally, trust me, know the feeling. So I said, hey, totally understand. You and I are in the same, boat. I love those old games. If there's anything you're not playing that you can think of. And she said, my ex-husband has a copy of Earthbound in there, meaning her house. Could have knocked me over with a feather. I said, is that right? And I was thinking, maybe this lady, did her ex-husband, that they're falling out, was it, some sort of bitter thing that maybe she would sell his Earthbound for $1 or something, but, I didn't ask exactly that way, but I did say, hey, listen, do you think he would be interested in parting with that? Because, I would be interested in buying it. And she said, well, why don't you go ask him? He lives just down the street. And, this dude just lived about 10 houses down on the same street. And with his new wife. And so awkward, I guess, but yeah, she told me it was his name, and the kid said, "Tell him AJ sent you," which was, his name. I thought that was really great. And the kid said he's got a ton of PS3 games that he's selling, and so look for the house with the PS3 games. That's him. So down the road I went, and just as I pulled out of the car and was walking up the driveway, right up to the front, I saw another customer packing up the PS3 games into the box, and the sign said PS3 games $1 each. So, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. So this guy had bought all the PS3 games for $1 each, and I missed out on those, but I was a little bit nosy, and it's like, did I see what I think I saw? And among this guy's little stack of PS3 games was NCAA Football 14, which, as you probably know, is has really spiked in value over the last year, when everybody kind of realized that this is the last NCAA, for the foreseeable future, at least until EA gets their new one out that is, still doesn't even have the NCAA license, and they don't know what they're going to do about player likenesses and all that stuff. So people are still iffy about what that's going to turn out to be like. So for the 360 and the PS3, NCAA 14 shot through the roof for a good while. People were getting a neighborhood of $150 for a copy of NCAA. I have a copy for both systems in my collection, and I've sold a couple of them myself from various yard sales. So I was steaming mad, not at anybody in particular, except maybe myself, that I hadn't gotten down there quick enough to get a hold of NCAA for $1. But I did that thing that I hate when people do, and I turned to the fella as he was packing up his box and heading to his car, said, "Hey, are you interested in selling any of those on the secondary market?" And he said, No, not looking to do that. I said, "I'll give you $20 for one of those games." And he said, "I don't know." I said, "How about 40?" And he said, "Well, what do you have in mind?" And so I pulled this out. I checked it over, to see if it had a bunch of holes in it or anything, and it looked clean. And I was like, "Yep, $40. I'll do you right in here." And he said, "All right, well, I guess it must be worth something if you're willing to pay that." And I said, "Well, it's getting hard to find." So I paid far more than I would have wanted to, but still, there's enough, meat on the bone to make a good. I can double this up on eBay, so make double my money on eBay. So that's great. I'm happy to have it. Normally, this would be like the deal of the day for sure, even at $40, for a lot of yard sale days. But I wasn't there for PS3 games. I was there to talk turkey about Earthbound. So I asked the guy that was working the booth, "Hey, are you so and so?" And AJ sent me your ex up the road. I said, "I hear tell." I get kind of country, way more country than I really am at yard sales. I don't know why. It just comes out that way. So maybe it in the back of my mind, help me get a better deal. I don't know. But I said, I hear tell you have an Earthbound you might be interested in parting with, and so yeah, it's back up in my ex-wife's place up the road. She sent you down? Yeah, she sent me down. And I talked to him a little bit about that, and I said, is that something you're interested in letting go? And he said, yeah. I mean, I probably have to get like $100 for it. And I said, you got it. Absolutely, we'll do. The way the wife had put it, the ex-wife had put it was that it was a complete copy of Earthbound, which if it had been a fully complete copy of Earthbound, that's, some people are asking $2,000 for that and getting $2,000 for that. So $100, not knowing even condition or anything, was well worth agreeing to sight unseen. So if you had the game, it looked, if it wasn't broken in half, I was gonna pursue that for $100. And he said, well, okay, well, I'll text her and tell her that you can, she can get it out for me. And we had already talked, me and the guy, about how he loved all the old Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, and we both shared a love for Super Mario World because obviously, and he talked about Earthbound and liking a bunch of other RPGs just like that. So I had to say, hey, do you think you had anything else in that boxed up with Earthbound that you'd be interested in letting go? And because I'd love to take a look. And he said, yeah, I'll text up the way and see if she'll help you out with it. I said, would you mind riding up the street with me? I mean, it was a little unusual to ask a stranger to drive up the street with me to talk to his ex-wife about the video games that they may share custody of, but when the prize is right there, you do what you can to get him to bring it out. And so we did. We went back up the road, and he went back in the house and came out with this giant box of games and systems. And of course my heart is palpitating, and he's already pulled out Earthbound with the manual, with the full player's guide manual and the cartridge, and no outer box, which is a bummer, but I am not complaining because I was just stoked to see this in person. I'd never run across an Earthbound before, and for $100, that's a steal and a half. And so I had that locked in and was ready to tart turkey on whatever else he had in his giant box of stuff. So he starts pulling things out of the box, and we're looking it over, and he's got PlayStation 1 games and Nintendo games for the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo games, and a bunch of manuals, and a Game Boy, and a few games for that, and cords hither and yon, and controllers and all that stuff. And he said, I don't want to get rid of any of the systems because need those, and I'm gonna keep some of these games. Like he had Mario World and Mario 3, and he had a whole bunch of stuff, and he had a number of things that he wanted to keep. Really not all that many, but he was making a pile of things to keep. And I said, hey, look, if you're interested in doing it this way, if you just want to make a pile of the things you want to keep, and I'll make an offer on the rest of the box. But we pretty much dug through the whole box, and the long and short of it is, he kept some good stuff for himself, and I'll tell you about what he kept in a minute. But the PlayStation stuff he was not concerned about, and a lot of the Super Nintendo stuff and NES stuff he was ready to let go. And so, there were a few things that I was not interested in getting yet another copy of Top Gun for the NES. I'm having trouble getting rid of those as it is. But that was just, an example of, loose carts and things that he had that I wasn't interested in, or like some of the Jeopardy kind of things on Nintendo or Super Nintendo. I can't remember which. But, okay, anyway, here's what it comes down to. This box, which hopefully you can see right here, was the rest of my purchase, all together with Earthbound And with well, let's say with the $40 I spent on NCAA, which didn't go to that one guy, but was his game. So anyway, there's that, and then $100 for Earthbound, and then I got this box for $120, and I threw in an extra $20 for the kid who helped us move games around and test test out the Game Boy, for instance, which worked just fine. The battery compartment looks great. Ooh, I even kept the batteries. How about that? Fresh batteries. So let's get down to it. Game Boy, which worked, complete with Tetris, like you do, and we got Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, which of course is out on the Switch now, but this is the old school, and one I've never heard of called Prophecy Viking Child. So go figure. Running across things that aren't just pretty much just Tetris and Dr. Mario and that sort of thing for the Game Boy is always exciting. So Zelda and even this Prophecy game, that's pretty cool for Game Boy. Let's see. Now, get to the good stuff. Okay, we had the Game Boy booklet. Another Game Boy with a book for that Prophecy game. Book for Tetris. I don't see the book for Zelda in here. Maybe I didn't find that. But I did find a book for Simon's Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge. So I may have a copy of the loose cart, and if I don't, well, at least I have a booklet. Oh, I'm saying booklet. Instruction manual, It says booklet, whatever. Instruction booklet. Okay, moving on. The good stuff. The hotness. Let's see. Well, you can see right here the guide to Final Fantasy VII. So, that's all in here. We got Final Fantasy VII complete. Final Fantasy VIII Greatest Hits version complete. Final Fantasy, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Final Fantasy IX, also complete. And Final Fantasy Anthology, complete. Which is, the one that has old school Final Fantasy 5 and 6 kind of upgraded for the PS1. So, 5 and then 6 is what we call 3 and blah, blah, blah. So that's cool. Get those. We got a few kind of, common and not exciting, but kind of cool. Old things to get. NCAA Football 98. March Madness 99. NCAA Football 2000. Jet Moto 2 Gunship. For some reason this is a two disc size thing, but I think it's just one disc game, so whatever. Not sure why it needs to be that size, but that's fine. And let's see, we keep going with Twisted Metal 4, Command and Conquer, and then Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, and one of the gems of the day, Dragon Warrior 7. So that's pretty awesome. All these are complete with everything, and they look to be in terrific shape, and I'm super stoked to get them to fill out some more of my PS1 collection. And like I already have a couple of the Final Fantasies that I can sell the ones that I have duplicates of, and make some of my money back here and bring the overall cost down quite a bit. But yeah, having some of those in my collection, I'm just super stoked. So then we'll get to these, Ninja Gaiden 2 and Star Trek The Next Generation on original Nintendo, both with their manuals. I love that this guy kept his manuals, and again, all these they're in really great shape. And we'll go for the unboxed Super Nintendo. We have Populous and Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3. And then, after the guy and I were looking through the box for a while, the ex-wife brought out some more stuff, including a bunch of boxes for these games. And so this is what I got to bring home. Complete box copies of FIFA 97, the world's most popular soccer game. So FIFA 97, Mortal Kombat, the original, and that's got the box and game and manual, and same for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, box complete. Some of these don't have the little tray inside, so you can hear the game knocking around. We can get some aftermarket trays or replacement trays to put in to straighten that out. But still, my heart was thumping to get boxed Super Nintendo games at a yard sale. Sid Meier's Civilization, also manual and game, complete in box. Whoa. And it just came out. And Gemfire, which had the box and manual, but the game was nowhere to be found. But I didn't know anything about it, so I kind of included this in the pile of things that I wanted. And I have a line on getting a copy of the game for like $20. That should be no problem to complete this. It's a little out of shape, but I have box protectors. I'll take care of that. And then the excellent pickup, Secret of Mana. This one, I swear the manual was in there somewhere, but when I got home I could not find it. So either I was wrong about that, or it got shuffled here and there with all the other things we were moving around into the different piles. Either way, box copy of Secret of Mana in really good shape, and a little bit sun faded up front, but it looks good, and I'm super excited to have it in my collection. And all of this, the whole expenditure was a steal. And he set the price. I asked him what he wanted for it. I was willing to go quite a bit higher, really, for a lot of this. And but he said 100 for Earthbound, 120 for the rest, and then I threw in another 20 for the kid. So it's always nice to make a kid happy at a yard sale. That's part of the fun of this whole endeavor. So yeah, that was my pickups. It was an epic one stop. The rest of the day was fine, but I mean, couldn't wait to get home to really get in here and check out my new goodies. A lot of this is going straight onto the glass case, or into my glass case, or on the shelves and locked away in protective cases and stuff, because that's the way I roll. I may not play everything here, but I'm super excited to have it. Before I forget, here's what I could have gotten my hands on, but he wanted to keep them, so what are you gonna do? And I didn't bug him about it or anything, because I was already making out so great. But okay, so he had I think a boxed Super Mario All-Stars, and he had a box for Super Mario RPG, but we couldn't find and the manual, but we couldn't find the game. And he indicated he wanted to keep that anyway, but that would have been, dope. As the kids probably don't say anymore. He had a boxed, complete copy of Final Fantasy III, which I was just wanted to pull away from him and take home with me, but he said he wanted to keep it, and he had a guide for it too. And I was like, I guess you want to keep the guide too, right? And yeah, so I had to let that go. I used to have that game back in the day, and I don't know what became of my copy, but I would have been happy to make his copy my copy. But it is what it is. And like I said, the guy was an RPG fan, as you can tell from all these Final Fantasies and whatnot. He had Dragon Quest 1 for the Nintendo, but I already got a complete copy of that, and so I'm good there. But then he pointed out that he had Dragon Quest 4 for the original Nintendo, and the manual, and possibly, I think he had the box as well. He might not have the box, but at any rate, he had the game and the manual for Dragon Quest 4, which would have been one of those, like, instant prize of the collection kind of things. But he said it was his favorite one. He didn't care so much about, collector value or anything like that. He just, that's just what he was his favorite one to play from back in the day. So he wanted to keep it. He said, I know this one has a little value, but I'm keeping this one. Dang it. So, hey, you can't get everything. He got to keep things that made him happy. Anything that he wasn't interested in that, could make me happy, I was happy to take. And now I will say this. I made a total rookie mistake here, and I did not get his name or telephone number. I have his address. I can find him again because it's on my old street. I know exactly where he lives. But not sure if I'm ready to awkwardly go knock on his door and hold up a bag of money and say, have you changed your mind about that Final Fantasy, or have you found any, did you find that Earthbound box? It might be worth trying that at some point, maybe, but I'm not ready to do it right now. If I had his number, I absolutely would have texted or Facebooked him if I had his name, Facebook message, and said, hey, thanks for the great deals, and look, if you find any of these other things, or if you are looking to move on from some of these other things, please let me know. But rookie mistake, I didn't get the info, didn't get the digits. I was too excited to contain myself, so can't do everything right, I guess. But I am still really stoked about this haul right here, and I can't reach it. Well, and this, but mostly, one of my new, one of the very best things in my collection now, even without the box, Earthbound. Pretty awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I know I had a great time yard sailing today, and I'm going to bring you more pickup videos, yard sale videos, eBay and Mercari purchase videos, and thrift store purchases. They come around every now and again, and I'll bring them to you when there's something good to show. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Take care and have a great day.